See if that works. Yay! We are live on Facebook. So, yay, hello. I would love, I'm very excited, and I would love for you to introduce yourself to the world.
Hello, my name's Claire Biddiscombe. I'm an improviser in Ottawa, Canada. Do you want me to run through other things at this point, or is that good for now?
That's good for now.
That's good for now? Okay, perfect.
Yeah, we could have a chat after it. That'll be awesome.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah. Awesome. So Claire, I'm just going to get a word up on this random word generator. Oh, where's the button gone? There. Oh, so the first word that I saw was mosquito. Mosquito. I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah, I can. Okay.
Mosquito. So that's our word to inspire, and I'll just get my timer up. So do you want to, shall we switch our cameras off and then switch on and then start?
Yeah, let's do that. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so mosquito.
They're terrible this year.
Unbelievable.
They're just, I can't sleep anymore. I feel like, look at all these.
Oh my gosh. Oh no, gosh. It's impossible. I am itching all the time.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. I'm just constantly, they're everywhere, and I'm imagining them. It's got to the point where I'm imagining them.
Yeah. I think so. I mean, we're not imagining them, because I can see you have at least 12 there. No. Oh. Did you get it?
Yeah, I think so. Oh, we need to replace the netting on the windows.
Yeah,
they're getting in.
I love the family cabin. I'm so glad we came here, but you know, and please do thank your mum and dad for having me stay and stuff. But it's a bit in disrepair.
Well, Georgia, you know, mom and dad are getting older, and when Nan and Grandpa left it to them, I don't think they put the work into it that they should have. I think it's time for them to give it up, but I just don't know how to talk to them about it.
You know, I was thinking the same thing. I mean, I was like, I was wondering about how to talk to them about going into a home, maybe, or maybe not a home, because I feel really bad. I don't like the idea of them being in homes. So
no. Well, you've looked at some for Aunt Lucy and Uncle Paul. There's been some. You've had some luck there. I don't know. It's like you say. I feel like I'm abandoning them.
Yeah, same. I feel really guilty. Do you?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like they spent so much of their lives looking after me, and I feel like I'm abandoning them. And but it can't go on like this. Their house is the same. There's leaks everywhere.
Yeah. I noticed there's some this is just so difficult, isn't it? But I've noticed there's some personal care that hygiene that is not happening.
I know the smell when you walk in.
I feel like they need help. I don't know what. Here's the thing. I was wondering if you could have them live with you, or maybe. I mean, I know my house is bigger, but it's just further away. I'd be happy for them to live with me and the kids, but.
No, it makes sense for them to live with me. I mean, we have the space.
Yeah.
We have the space. Yeah. I'm just worried, you know, because I'm at work all day, and
yeah, exactly.
If they fall, And I would feel terrible if something happened to them while they were living with me. So I feel terrible putting them into a home, and I also feel terrible if they bring them into my house and they get hurt in my house, and I just don't know. I feel like I'm in a rock and a hard place of guilt. I'm gonna feel guilty no matter what happens. And I just,
yeah. I mean, I owe them a lot, you know. But I work from home, so I'd be happy. I'd be okay. It just means because I'm, you know, I'm 250 miles away from you, so I don't know if I'm much further away. So if they were to live with me, I work from home and I do have the space and everything, but I just feel bad. I feel guilty like you. I'm in a guilt sandwich, you know?
yeah.
Because like I would feel guilty that they were then 250 miles away from you.
Well, maybe the solution is that they go into a home. I mean, like maybe we look halfway or something like that. So but that doesn't make sense, because then if we need to get to them quickly, they need to be near one of us.
Yeah. And
I think they need to be somewhere where someone can look after them all the time.
Yeah, me too. I don't feel comfortable with them being in a home. Unless we just find a really good one, but they're super expensive. Yeah. But like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, we could look. So I mean, Charlottesville is like splitting the difference between where I am and you are. So maybe we could take a look at in Charlottesville and see if there's anything there.
Yeah, we can start there. But you said you feel guilty putting them in. Would you be okay with it? Like, do you think it's just you'll feel guilty no matter what, like I would, or do you think you'll like?
I think I'll feel guilty no matter what. Like I just don't feel like there's like a there's not a happy solution either way. Like we have to make the thing where it's a win-win for most. Most importantly for them. I mean, it has to be a win for them. Like they have to be happy and looked after and taken care of, fed, bathed, you know, I mean, and entertained and have a quality of life. So it's, as long as they're happy, shit, I mean, we just need to speak to them, right? I mean,
they're adults. They should have part of this decision, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, we can plan all we like, but unless they agree, this is nothing's going to happen.
But I think we need to agree. I think you and I think we need to be on the same team.
Okay. Like on the same page. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I think it'll be easier no matter what happens. I think it'll be easier if you and I agree on what needs to happen. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, what's your preference? Thank you. Thank you. It's funny the way they leave little bits of blood around. I find mosquitoes weird. Like, you know, they just like, eesh. I have so many, well, you can see there's so much blood splatter on the walls because me and you have been swatting these mozzies for a very long time.
I know. It would just, we need to go this afternoon. We need to go into town.
Yeah.
Go to the hardware store, get some netting, and fix the windows. And maybe we need to do that before we keep having this conversation so we can think clearly.
That is so true. Yeah, because you're right. Oh my gosh. You're so brilliant. This is what, you're very practical. You're way more practical than me. But yeah, if we actually just sort this cabin out first and then we can actually think clearly. But yeah, what is your preference, like, first and foremost?
I think they need to have someone who can take care of them. And I don't think I'm the person who can do that. And I don't think maybe you're the person who can do that either. I think we need to there needs to be someone whose job it is to take care of them.
Okay, but why don't you think either of us would be good at taking care of them?
Because we've got our own lives, Georgia. You've got the kids and I've got work. And
yeah.
And I feel terrible because they're such great parents, but I feel like we need to live our lives, or we're just going to feel guilty and anxious and resentful.
Yeah, that is true.
I feel that's how I would feel, I think.
You know, and also thinking about it, they would want us to be happy, right? I mean, they would want us to live our own life, you know?
Yeah.
Like they wouldn't want us to be like, yeah, not living our own life. You know what they're like. They just want us to be happy.
Yes. Oh no, I know. I can hear Mom. Whatever works for you, dear.
Whatever works for you. Yeah.
For you.
I love the way she says dear at the end of sentences as well. It's so sweet. She's always done that, hasn't she? She's always said, you know, hello, dear. And it's just such a gorgeous endearing.
Remember when we were younger and we would bring friends home from school, and Mom would just give them all snacks, and it would just be like, "Here, I remembered your favorite, dear."
Yes. And she always did. She always knew. Because do you remember Sophie from school? And she was such a fussy eater. Like she would only eat honey sandwiches. And Mum would always go, "Oh, hey, Sophia, there's your honey sandwich, dear." And I was like, "Oh, she's the best mum in the world."
We're really lucky.
Yeah,
we're so lucky.
We really.
And maybe this is just us feeling guilty that we can't take care of them the way they took care of us.
Yeah, I think you're right. I feel so guilty.
Me too.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, let's sort this cabin out. This mozzie infestation is literally wrecking my head.
Yeah.
So let's do that and then we'll talk again.
Okay.
You've now got 15.
Oh God.
It sucks.
Every night.
I know.
This is ridiculous. I feel like I'm gonna be covered in calamine for a month.
Yeah. Oh, that's another thing we should get from the store.
Yes. Okay. I'll go get my purse. We should go.
Fancy! Yay! Oh, that was super fun. Absolutely. Oh, it's really kind of like pertinent as well. Like there's so many people who in the world who have these considerations all the time, and I know that day is at some point going to come for me as well, like those, and I will be having conversations with my sister about that, but it's a difficult one, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it's interesting because I'm not at a position yet where I'm thinking about that for my parents, but just watching them have those considerations for their parents and people in their lives, and it's interesting because I think oftentimes it's the inability to keep up the house, or keep up themselves, that's one of the first signs that, like, okay, a change needs to happen. So it was interesting playing the sort of the thing at the beginning of we have the mosquitoes, and then discovering, okay, why, and then having that sort of emotional story come out of it.
It's a great discovery, isn't it? Like, yeah, I mean, this is why I love improv, because you get the word mosquito and you end up talking about really important family issues that a lot of people in the world face. So there's, how do you get from mosquito to taking care of your parents? You know, it's like, it's such a journey, isn't it? And to discover that in the moment is beautiful. I love improv.
Yeah. No, it is, and it's because sort of you always hear it's your scene should not be about the thing that you're doing. Like if you're doing the object work or the physical business of us with the swatting mosquitoes, like that's not what your scene is actually about. Exactly. So it's kind of fun discovering, and that was like that cut deep. That was a good sort of discovery, I think.
Yeah, you did cut deep. Yeah, I totally agree. I really love that integration between space work, object work, and real stuff. Like I love that. I love when, because it definitely, the scene is never about the object, the act. You know, it's never about what you, this mug. You know, it's not about that. But sometimes I just love the way it bobs and weaves in and out. Like the real conversation was the conversation that we had, but at the same time we were both just kind of like swatting ourselves every now and then and mentioning it every now and then, but it's not about that.
Yeah, because I think that's the way things occur in life, because you don't like if you're washing dishes every once in a while, like if a plate breaks or something like that, you're gonna stop talking about your divorce or whatever it is to talk about the fact that the plate's broken. So in this case, it makes a lot of sense that this is the trigger to the problem, and this is a very immediate, like physical problem that they're having, so that they're going to talk about trying to deal with that.
Yeah, actually thinking about it, that is quite that's quite funny, isn't it? Like we're being attacked by mosquitoes whilst trying to have the most important conversation.
Yeah. Yeah, and we're having the conversation because we're being attacked by mosquitoes of all the
layers.
Yeah,
that was so great. That was so great. I really enjoyed that. Thank you for sharing that theme and creating with me. Yay!
Yay! Thank you. That was so much fun.
It was. And so tell me about you're in Ottawa, and we were talking before a little bit about the improv world there, but so tell me a bit about that, and but also tell me what you've been doing online, because you have really engaged with the Zoom Prov.
Thank you. So I'm in Ottawa, Canada. So before COVID, we had a fairly small but active improv scene. So Ottawa, for people who don't know, it's the capital of Canada. It's a city of about 1.3 million-ish people. So for the size of the city, we didn't have a huge scene, but we had a fairly active scene for its size. So we had like some shows, we had some groups that have been around for 10 years or more. And then we had a school, and then the pandemic happened, and unfortunately, because of a bunch of factors, things have quieted down a fair bit. The school, for example, was having sort of a number of things, so they decided to go on hiatus for a while. A lot of the groups in town have gone on hiatus. But some of us have sort of picked up and gone to the Zoom world, which has been great. So I first started doing improv on Zoom. We tried a few things in the local community, but I first started doing sort of international improv on Zoom in April or May. And it was great because I've moved around a fair bit in my life. And so I have improv experience with all these different influences and backgrounds. And it was great because all of a sudden I had the opportunity to like go and indulge all these different influences and interests and things like that. So I did like Maestro at the Hideout a few times, and I still, like I've guest directed for them a few times. So I should pop up there occasionally. I took classes with a nursery in London. And then I dropped into a class with Emma in Liverpool and did a couple of workshops, and then I've done classes with Emma and some of your guest workshops, like Monica Gaga's workshop was awesome. Yeah, so it's been great just sort of being able to take all these different classes and indulge all these different interests, where in a smaller community, and Ottawa's a little bit more off the beaten path than somewhere like Toronto or Montreal, you may not get like the guest teachers that you would in some other places. So that's been great, and I've had the opportunity to play with Global Improv Project with Queen City Comedy. We actually have a show tonight.
Good luck tonight. That's great. What's the name of your team?
So my team is Ridgely. So directed by Carla Dingle, and lots of awesome improvisers on there. So that's 7:30 Eastern, which is 12:30 GMT. And then other time zones as
Yes, and then
the world.
But yeah, it'll be on. Is that going to stream live to Queen City Comedy or to?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, to Queen City Comedy on Facebook. Yeah, and then a friend and I co-produce a Maestro in Ottawa, and so we have a show coming up next Friday night. So we're going to be doing.
How can we watch that?
So that's Twitch. So twitch.tv/sAllSuper. So sAllSuper is the production company, the production sort of team that puts it on. So yeah, that's next Friday at, we've just had a bit of a conflict, so I think our start time may get pushed back till it's 9 Eastern, but I'll have to confirm that, so that would be quite late GMT. But yes, so that's the other sort of, that's the production-y thing that I've been doing as well.
Do you enjoy producing, producing improv shows and stuff like that, and directing shows as well as performing?
Yes. So I'm the type of person, I'm quite shy and introverted actually. So I really need to produce with someone else who's a little more on the marketing, getting people outside. I really like doing the logistics, and I'm sort of, once we're in the planning, I really like that aspect of it, but I like having, and it's also nice just having a person to bounce things off of. And when it all goes to hell, which it inevitably does, just having someone to like commiserate with, or celebrate with when it goes well.
Yeah, for sure.
So after our first show, Rich, my co-producer, and I, we just kind of sat in the Zoom room and looked at each other. We're like, we did it.
Yeah.
And it's just nice having that moment with someone.
Yeah, it's a great, there's nothing better than producing something, especially alongside someone, and then you're able to celebrate, because it's quite nerve-wracking. I mean, there's a lot going on backstage, if you know what I mean, or in the back room, you know, there's a load of work and organization that goes into producing, and it's hard work, but it's such an achievement when it goes well, or you ride out mistakes, you know, or accidents, and then you kind of like just ride that out and it's still a success, you know. It's just a buzz. Yeah
it is. And it's just, it's I like having that aspect of it, the producing as well, because I like creating opportunities for people. Because I've had so many opportunities that people have created that I've been able to take advantage of. It's nice to be able to sort of try and create some opportunities for other people to play too. So I like that aspect of it. Feels like giving back to the community in a sense.
It really, that's great. That's a great feeling. If you were, so how long have you been improvising for, would you say?
So that's a tricky, so I started quite young, but I started in 2003, but I've taken some extended breaks just because I've moved to places where it's taken me a while to get into the scene, or I've taken time off for various reasons. So altogether, from 2003 to present, probably about 10-ish years, but with a few extended breaks.
Yeah. Wow, that's so cool. What would be your best bit of advice, like for like when you started to where you are now? What could you get? What advice could you give yourself from this 10-year perspective?
Oh man. Keep playing. Don't be afraid to seek out people who are playing and ask to play with them. And just find a way to sort of keep yourself in it. Because I think that's the thing, is there's been times where I've sort of dropped out of it because I didn't especially when I was younger, because I didn't really know how to get back into it. And sort of finding my feet with knowing who to talk to. So that would probably be the biggest thing, is go find your people. And don't be afraid to talk to your people and play with your people.
Wow, that's such great advice, because I think that, I mean, you always need to find your people, and you also need just to be courageous. Like, it's a bit of like, I don't know, sometimes I feel like you have to like, you're sort of on a little journey of finding your people. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a lot of people you'll meet along the way and stuff like that, and you kind of have to get through or experience all of those experiences. But actually, when you find your people, it's like you do feel home. Then you feel like, yeah, this is the home of where I want to be with improv. Yeah, it's a nice feeling.
It is. And it online has been great for that reason too, because it's opened up so many more people for everybody to play with and to find their people. And sometimes your people live in America or England or India or the Philippines or wherever. Yeah.
I find that's just such a beautiful thing for me. Like just the extraordinary, your people are all over the world, and it's like, I don't know, it just feels global. It's just so lovely, just absolutely brilliant. I enjoy that. So can we find you on Facebook?
You can. So I believe Facebook automatically puts up like the Zoom name. So if you see Claire Biddiscombe down there.
Yes, it's there.
Yeah, that's where you can find me on Facebook. Or sAllSuper has a page on Facebook. Or if you just want to see what happens in the Ottawa improv community, we have a Facebook group, Improv in Ottawa. So if you are a non-local member, as long as you're sort of interested in engaging with the Ottawa improv community, you can come and hang out there. And yeah, there's some lovely people in the Ottawa improv community and who are interested in taking advantage in opportunities around the world. So please come hang out with us. We're very nice people.
Yay, that's so cool. And what happens after, I mean, your team Ridgely is going to perform tonight at Global Improv Project. What happens, do you continue then, or is that you finished with does the Global Improv Project carry on then?
So we started back in August. So this is actually our second show. So the plan is, so the plan is, as far as I know, just to continue as long as there's interest.
Awesome.
Which will probably be for as long as there is a lockdown in various parts of the world. So we've been let me think. We have a full cast of about 9, and sometimes people have to take breaks for various reasons. But sort of the 9 of us have been working together for a few months now, and I think the plan is to sort of keep moving forward as a group.
Oh, that's so good to hear, because I think that for those of us who have embraced Zoomprov and all its possibilities, I don't think it's going to go away anywhere, is it? I mean, even when we're back in the physical space together, it's like this is so vibrant. This connection across the world through Zoom is so I don't know, life enhancing, that I don't think it's going to go anywhere.
Yeah, and it was interesting watching people sort of come to that and I think that realization started happening maybe a few months ago, maybe earlier for some people, but that was, I feel like at about the 6-month mark, people started going, A, this is going to be around for a while yet, and B, do we even want it to go away when, like, now that we've sort of like opened this box, do we want to put this back in the box?
We don't want to put the lid on again. It's too beautiful to have it leave. So I'm really glad. Well, I mean, I'm so glad that I got to meet you through Zoomprov. So there's been so many connections across the world from just really awesome, nice people. So it was a pleasure to have this scene with you. I'm like, yay, that was close to my heart. It was really nice.
Yeah, thank you so much, Emma. It was so nice to be able to play with you. It was just so lovely.
And I will definitely see you soon. I'll stop the live feed so we can say goodbye to the world now. Goodbye, world.
Bye, world.
Okay, how do I? Oh yeah, I always forget. Where's the button? Oh, there it is.